Hi, folks, and welcome again to yet another exciting segment of Island Girl Foods TV. This edition of Cooking in Isolation with a Friend. Well, today I am uber excited because I have my girl Gina St. Germain, who happens to be my food stylist. We traveled on my cookbooks media tour together. I've learned so much from her, and I look forward to many, many more exciting projects with her. We became really great friends, and I can't imagine doing any big events without Gina. Gina, say hi to everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Awesome. So today, Gina and I are going to be making my Aunt Tia's favorite recipe, Pina Colada rum cake. Now,
Mm.
this is a sensational, heavenly, bohemian, traditional rum cake. My Aunt Tia puts a little twist in it by filling her rum cakes in the center with fruits. So Gina and I will be adding delicious grilled pineapples, which is so sweet, along with some coconut that makes this a pina colada rum cake. I have one more friend that I will be baking with to add to this mix that I would love to introduce to you, Gina. And this friend, actually, he doesn't have to be physical distance. So I would like to introduce you to my friend Andrew. Andrew, come on in and meet Gina. So, guys, if you're ready, Gina's ready, Andrew's ready. If you're going, let's go. So here's what we'll need. A half a cup of butter. We'll need 1 1/3 cup of sugar, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. We'll need 3 tablespoons of canola oil, 1 to 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla, a pinch of salt, and about a half a cup of walnuts or pecans, 3/4 cup of milk, a tablespoon of dark or spiced rum, 1 tablespoon of coconut extract, 4 whole eggs, about 4 to 6 grilled pineapples cut in half, and a half a cup of toasted coconut flakes. Okay, so first things first, we have our bun pan, and Gina and I took the liberty to grease our pan with butter already, and we sprinkled a little flour in and dust off the excess flour. And now we're going to add our nuts because traditionally Bohemian rum cake we always add some walnuts. But folks, I want you to know that you don't have to rush off to the supermarket. It's whatever you have in your pantry. I didn't have walnuts today. I found that I had pecans. So I love pecans, and I'm going to be adding pecans, and Gina has walnuts, right?
I do. I always have walnuts in my pantry. Always. I love them.
You should be the chef. Shame on me. No walnuts in my pantry.
Well, pecans are wonderful too. What does Andrew like?
Andrew likes whatever I like. He says pecans will do.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So pecans are going in. You just want to place them around your bun pan. Okay. So now our bun pan is ready. Goes to the side. Just set it aside. And first things first, so Gina will show you how to make this cake. If you don't have a stand mixer, it's okay to use a handheld mixer. And I'm going to show you how to make it using your stand mixer. So, creaming the butter and sugar together, I'm going to go in with my butter, sugar, and turn it on the first speed. And Gina, you are? You're
I'm
just
ready.
going to go in with your handheld blender. Okay, here we go. So next we add our 3 tablespoons of canola oil with the motor running. So I'm going to add my flour.
Oh, you're going to sift your flour?
Yes, I'm sifting. And your flour is already sifted, right, Gina?
Yes, I
Okay,
appreciate flour.
awesome. So I'm just going to add might as well, my baking powder to it. And all I need is pretty much a pinch of salt. And then I'm going to just use this and sift it in. One thing with this patty, it's like it goes through really quickly where, I don't have to keep spinning with a sifter. So it's pretty much done. That's it. That's all I needed to do. So I'll set this aside.
You did have old fashioned.
Right, there you go. My grandmother would say the old ways are the best ways. So, all right. So now our flour is well sifted. We're going
Yes.
to turn our motor on again. Gina's case, turn our hand blender on. And you can add this a little at a time to the bowl of your stand mixer. So, okay, so now we've incorporated our flour into our creamed butter and sugar mixture. So our wet ingredients is next. You want a bowl for this. And we're going to go in with our milk.
Milk.
I sometimes don't have any order to my madness. So I'm like, wet ingredients, it doesn't matter which order it goes in. I switch it up. So I'm going in with some vanilla
When are you putting the eggs in?
whenever I want. There's no
But
method to my madness, Gina.
a separate bowl?
Okay, so seriously, the eggs can go in at any time because it's kind of getting all your wet ingredients together. So I'm going to whisk my eggs in now. And just a light, whisking, just slightly whisk because it's all going inside of my stand mixer as well. And lastly, I wanted to add, people who have nut allergies, you can also enjoy this delicious cake. No need to, not enjoy this. All you do is you remove the nuts to the beginning. And I love to add almond extract, so you don't have to use that either. Today, Gina's going to add almond extract. I'm
Oh, yeah.
going to add
Mm.
coconut extract.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So everyone can try this. And Gina, I've also made this cake gluten-free.
What?
Yes, by using a mix of gluten-free flour. Nowadays, gluten-free is so available in the supermarkets. They also have all-purpose gluten-free mix. I usually mix a corn flour with a rice flour and an almond flour or something like that. You can do any mix.
Oh, nice.
Yep, and it turns out pretty well.
Awesome.
Okay. So now for my favorite part, I usually put a splash of dark Caribbean rum in. You guys can use dark rum, you can use spice rum. So just for flavor, the rum goes in the wet mix as well.
Mmm.
Mm-hmm. One for the mix, one for me.
Guys, that happened.
Okay, with our motor on again, the wet mix is going into the dry mixture or the flour mixture. Okay, so now our cake batter is ready. Mine is free of lumps. I'm proud of myself. How about you, Gina?
Yes, it's quite smooth.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so now we have our prepared bundt pan, and I'm just going to remove my paddle. We're just going to go in, folks, with half of our batter, and we want to make sure we cover our walnut or our pecans, and you're just going to take this around, and then I'm just going to use my silicone spatula and just go around with my cake batter, just sort of making sure everything is all evened out here. Okay. And Gina, do you
Yes.
love pina coladas and getting caught in the rain?
Do I have pina coladas getting caught in the rain?
Yeah, if you like pina colada, hey. All right, so
Andrew,
we're going in with grilled pineapples. Grilling your pineapples, of course, is going to make them even more sweeter and flavorful. So we cut them in half. And we're just going to layer around.
quickly.
And now we're going in with our toasted coconut flakes. This is what's going to make this cake an official pina colada rum cake.
Ooh,
Some people say less is more. I say more is more.
more is more. Look at how beautiful these are. They're so gorgeous.
Gorgeous, gorgeous caramelized pineapples. Forget about it. I'm going in with a lot of toasted coconut flakes. Well, I have a half a cup here, so you're going to get the flavor with the pineapples and these earthy toasted coconut flakes. Now, I use sweetened coconut flakes, so it's kind of like whatever is in your pantry. If you have unsweetened, sweetened, it's all good. All right. So now that my layer of pineapple and coconut flakes are down, I'm going to cover with the remaining batter.
Looks so pretty.
Isn't it gorgeous? Like, even more than being pretty, the smell or the aroma already from this, and it's not even baked. Like before, all you want to do is smooth your batter over your filling. Folks, our batter is ready. Our cake is ready to go inside the oven. So we're going to, well, my oven is already preheated to 350 degrees, 180 degrees Celsius. And we're going to bake this cake. You can bake it on convection heat for approximately 35 minutes. And you know that this cake will be done if you insert a toothpick in the center and it comes out clean, or when you press the cake and it bounces back. But roughly about 35 minutes is going to do the job. So, in the oven it goes. Now it's time to make our rum sauce. Using a small saucepan placed over medium heat with 1 cup of water, add a tablespoon of butter, a quarter cup of sugar, and 3/4 cup of that dark rum. Very important, remove the pan from the heat when the butter and sugar melt and dissolve, as we don't want our alcohol to cook out. So now for Andrew and my favorite part of this segment, we're going to hand the ball over to Gina, and she's going to show us a bit of her food styling skills. We had our cake out of the oven. We flipped it onto a plate. We allowed it to cool for at least about 5 minutes. And now we get to see Gina work her magic. Gina, it's all you.
Okay, so when we're eating at home, it's still very important to make sure that your food looks amazing because you eat with your eyes first.
Absolutely.
You really do, right?
Yes.
And color, when you see color on a plate, it just automatically tells you that this is going to taste fantastic. It gets everything going, and already it's the anticipation. Even before you dive in, you're looking at all the color and the food and the presentation makes it more appetizing for you. So,
Is that
have,
why I usually order more of a menu than I need to?
I know, Raquel. Ooh, I'll have one of those, and I'll have
And
one of
that.
those. And that's why people are taking pictures of their food right before it comes. They're like, ooh, ooh,
Yes. Exciting.
ooh. Absolutely. That's because that ooey gooey cheese pull
Hmm.
just makes you want to dive in there, or a nice caramelized onion, or a beautiful caramelized pineapple. It
Yes.
Right. So right away, the point is to make the food look as fabulous as you know it's going to taste. Now, when you make one of your recipes, Raquel, for sure, we all know that the food is going to taste great.
Ye-
But if it looks good first, it just adds to the pleasure. And even though this cake is by no means ugly, it is pretty. And you can
yes.
see the stripe of the pineapple in there and the coconut coming through. So it already has you captivated, right? I know I want a piece.
Yes. I do too.
But so at home, what I would do is I would draw from the things that I know are already in the cake and that we already have on hand because we made it. So I grilled up some extra pineapple because the
Mm.
grilled pineapple is absolutely delicious
Hmm.
from my view. The grill marks make it look even more appetizing. So I'm going to put some really nice grilled pineapple on the plate along with these two nice pieces. And I decided to put two pieces on because, hey,
More is more.
more is more and we deserve it, right?
Yes, we do.
Now, I also toasted up some extra coconut. We
Yes.
put coconut in the cake, but I left some aside. And it's very pretty because of the coconut colors. Some are more brown, some are white. So
Yes.
it's actually beautiful. And what I did, along with putting your delicious rum sauce into the cake, I
Mm.
put a little bit of coconut. So it has a nice soft texture to it,
Hmm.
and all the varying colors make it look just great. So look what
It's
happens when
nice.
you just sprinkle it on the cake like that.
Ooh.
So delicious. Sprinkle it all over.
I'll be your sound effects. Ooh, ah.
And then another thing I thought was, well, I do have extra walnuts. Why not make candied walnuts for that extra bit of sweetness
Yes,
and,
please.
and texture helps the cake look delicious.
Mm.
So I'm just going to throw some of these babies on here.
Oh, wow. Very nice.
And then, of course, if you really want to make sure you get that rum flavor, you can just sprinkle a little bit on, and voila!
Voila! Brilliant, brilliant. Andrew and I thank you. And we can't wait to dive in. So,
Yes,
Gina, thank you so much for just being here and doing this segment with me, sharing a little bit of your expertise. I missed you so much and I feel so much closer to you, even though we are still, far away from each other right now, right? And
oh, yeah. It's so much fun to cook with a friend, even though we have to stay separated. It's like we bake together. It's awesome.
absolutely. Bake together, cook together, and it brings us even closer. So we can all just, get through this storm right now. Let's just be smart, keep safe, and stay home. And I would love to send a shout out to all of our healthcare frontline workers who are just going out there every day and working diligently to help everyone that needs this help during this time. And until next time, Andrew, Gina, and myself, we would like to say cheers, everyone. Take care of you, be kind to others, and if you can, share with your neighbors.
And play with your food.
And play with your food. See you, Gina. Mwah.